Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 6th. We're just going to jump right in here, Cancer, and we are going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. Love it. You have this self-made card. It says you will become successful or rich by your own efforts. So I love this for you. I kind of feel like for some of you, you could be attracting a person who is self-made as well. So, take it how it resonates. But it looks to me like there could be like a King of Cups type person. Doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either. And you do have Pisces here, but it could be any water sign. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I kind of feel like it could be any one of those three. I also feel like they could have either Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo in their chart, or Capricorn, like, in their like sun, moon, rising, some sort of important part in their chart is what I would say. So I definitely see that here for you. But it looks like to me that a lot of you are kind of looking to, outside of love, although, there's clearly love coming in for you here, Cancer. I would say outside of love, I feel like you're looking to expand going this direction. You go Hangman to the Page of Wands, down to the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion. The Page of Wands is like going on an adventure. It's kind of like if we want to grow in life, obviously, we have to go on some sort of adventure. The Hangman, it's like he's sacrificed enough. The whole story of the Hangman is that he put himself in hangman mode to gain knowledge and wisdom and enlightenment. But it's like now it's time for him to get started on his journey. And it's like once you do that, that's where the real growth is going to happen for you here, Cancer. You have the King of Cups. I do also feel that this is like your energy. I feel like you're coming up in a very strong position here, like a position of power and strength. And I also feel it's kind of asking you to watch your emotions. I would watch your emotions this week, just in general. Your third row here, it kind of represents what you need to hear right now. And you have this card that says, reckless action leads to conflict. Obviously, we're going to clarify this. I wouldn't be worried about this. I would be kind of like just saying, am I making rushing decisions, or am I making decisions that are like too emotional or too emotionally based? And that's what I would be looking at. And I would kind of like think that it would be a good week for you to slow your decision making down. And I kind of get, it's funny because you do have the Knight of Swords. I was going to say, I get Knight of Swords vibes here. You have the Knight of Swords right next to Hangman. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like sometimes we can maybe think like, oh, I hate my job. I'm just going to quit, right? I feel like this is saying, slow down. Don't just quit. It's like, yes, maybe you hate it, but it's like try to slow things down and don't make any rash decisions, right? But other than that, I would say this week looks amazing other than that row, but you have the World here, which could represent some sort of accomplishment. I also feel that there could be a person from a distance coming in for you. We're actually going to double clarify this reading just for why not. And I'm using whatever this deck is called here, the Gypsy Oracle cards, because, I don't, I've never really messed around with them too much. So why not? With the Hangman, you have this Death card. You have the Death card basically twice in your reading, so there is some sort of change. I do feel also sometimes with the Hangman, I personally just intuitively I feel that if like we don't get off the pole, if we don't get moving, then we can experience like some sort of tower moment, because it's like the universe is like, well, you're overthinking things, so I need to shake you up to get you off the pole, right? So again, if you have any plans, then I would say like I would get moving towards those plans, especially if they're involving making a change in your life, like moving, traveling, whatever. With, excuse me, with the King of Cups, you have this Soldier card. And again, I feel like this is saying one foot in front of the other, It's like, this is giving me the vibes of, like, if you don't know what to do, I feel like you just, like, putting one foot in front of the other is, like, really all you have to do, especially if you are wanting to make a change. You could be wanting to move, change your job. You could be wanting to change your relationship. I feel like this is just saying take the small steps, because eventually you're going to be very successful with this energy, but you have to take the steps. Again, I talk to a lot of people. Again, people always say to me, Chris, that's obvious. Of course, if I hated my job, I'd make a change. I'm like, yeah, but I've talked to a lot of people, done a lot of personal readings back in the day, where people would be like, I hate my job. Should I quit? I'm like, no, just go get another job. Just find another job. Just start taking those steps, right? And sometimes I think, again, this is not a criticism, by the way, but sometimes I think things have to get painful enough for us to make the change, right? It's like, I don't know, I used to work at a job that I hated, and, really, it was a great job at first, but I just been there too long. Sometimes I think we just really want change, right? It's not that we hate the job. It's just we're bored. We need like a new challenge. And that's kind of like the feeling I get for you here, Cancer, where it's like, I feel like you need a new challenge. Same thing in love. I think it's our responsibility in love. I think the problem with modern day relationships is people expect it to be tingles and butterflies the whole entire time. It's like, no, you have to keep the romance alive. You have to put the work in to do that. It's like after someone farting in front of you too many times, so it's like that shit goes away, right? So it's like you have to put in the work to keep the romance alive. But at the same time, it's like one too many dad jokes, right? And it's like the relationship starts getting a little boring. So what I would say here is either do the work or, go find something else. With the World card, you have this Prison card. I really get these feelings with the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords that you feel like you're stuck, but you're probably not. So I kind of get Eight of Swords vibes here. It's like you need to set yourself free. I also feel like if you're like thinking that, if you're waiting for the perfect circumstances before you get started on something, I feel like this is saying no. Things are not going to be perfect. You have to get started right now. With the Hangman and the Death card, you have the Sun. So a lot of happiness in making a change for you here, Cancer. With the King of Cups and the Soldier, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, just don't give up, basically. And also, I kind of feel this is saying, be perseverant, keep pushing towards a goal, wish, or dream, and you will probably be successful. So, that's what I'd say there. You do have a lot of cards of tactics, by the way, here. I'm just going to show you. You have the Soldier, you have to the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of tactics because he's stealing those swords from an army in the background, so that he doesn't have to go to war. So again, you have Soldier, War, Seven of Swords. There might be a better way to do things in your life, just in general. And I'm a big fan of looking for a better way. Again, we have Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto's going into Aquarius, but it's in Capricorn, depending on when you're watching this video. And what I would say is that in Capricorn, I think it's about efficiency. So we have to look for more efficient ways. I feel like this Prison card is saying the same thing. It's like if you're not getting started, keeping yourself stuck, there might be more efficient ways to start your business or to get into a relationship, but you have to look for those ways. With the Prison, the World, you have the World, basically the universe saying I meant what I said. I feel there's a change. The World is definitely a change card to me. I'll show you here because this is just an easier version, but you can see she's in the middle of the World card, the Sorceress. And she creates her own worlds with her powers of manifestation. So it's like you are creating some sort of change, but you have to go through a transition. She's going through the portal that is the middle of the World card. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says, take chances. You'll realize how perfect something will turn out. Yes, take a risk. At this time, don't be afraid to take risks either. I feel like this is, I say this to basically everyone right now because I think we're in a time of risk. The risk that we're all taking is the risk of exposure, basically the risk of being wrong about something that we want to do. So, don't be afraid to take some sort of risk. You have the Knight of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card of taking a risk. Really, it's a card of conflict and competition. But these people are using sticks, and in the After Tarot, you can see that they're all sitting around talking. So they're learning how to fight. They're not, they're not using swords. They're not hurting each other. They're learning how to go into battle. So I feel like that this card I call it Indiana Jones sometimes because to me it's about like going on some sort of crazy adventure to get a reward. So I feel it's adventure time for you. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Going on an adventure, right? Moving towards your enthusiasm, which is always a risk. It's always a risk to move towards something that you're enthusiastic about. It's always a risk to move towards something that you're not sure about. So I feel like some of you have to take a risk with this Page of Wands energy. It's going to lead to a lot of success for you. You have the Knight of Swords, and again, I feel like the Knight of Swords is talking about making a rash decision, right? There's a difference between taking a risk and making a rash decision. A risk might be that you start looking for another job before you quit your job, obviously, and the risk might be that your boss finds out, right? But that's a risk. That's not a rash decision. A rash decision, Knight of Swords, a hasty decision would be just quitting before you have something else lined up, right? Same thing in love. It's like I feel for some of you, if you want love, you end with the Ace of Cups. There's definitely like the beginnings of something. Something is forming as far as love is concerned. It could be with a Scorpio. It really stands out to me here, but it could be any water sign. It could be any sign in general. But I feel like this is saying like it's like I feel like there's a difference between kind of like this moving forward quickly and rushing things. So make sure you're doing things in balance if you're meeting someone new, right? With the Knight of Swords, you have this gift card. Could be a gift of coming in for you. It's kind of weird because I feel like saying gift of communication. So, if you've been waiting for someone to like communicate with you, or if you are communicating with a person it's kind of like what feels like a gift is the fact that they reciprocate. So again, I don't know, maybe you're talking to a new person, or maybe you meet a new person and they really want to talk to you. So I don't know, it kind of gives me those vibes. With the Page of Wands, you have this Doctor card. I would definitely watch your health at this time. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Neptune and Pisces. I've talked about it for years, literally. Before COVID happened, I was literally saying that, to me, Neptune and Pisces rules anything that flows, and it also rules disease, and all this other stuff. So it's like, I don't want to say I predicted it, but I kind of did, because I said that, we could see like a new disease, problems with water, things like that. We've basically seen all of that. So, but more importantly, I would just stay healthy. Again, astrology, if it wants to focus, is not a prison sentence. We just have to work with the energy. Some of you could be becoming more active as well. With the Five of Wands, you have this frivolity card. So this is about being frivolous. I would be careful of getting involved in things like gossip, talking behind people's back, anything that doesn't matter. I would also make sure that you are doing things that matter, like especially in work or business. With that Five of Wands, sometimes I feel like we can do like extra stuff that just isn't important. It doesn't do anything other than make you seem busy. So I would avoid the busy work with the frivolity card there. But let's clarify this again. And sorry, I'm just dropping cards today. Let's see what we have going on here. With the gift card, you have the Two of Wands. Someone's going to take the lead, I feel. Could be you, talking to a person, or they're going to reach out to you, take it how it resonates. But I feel like someone's taking the lead here. This could also be a leadership opportunity for you in like work or business, I feel. So definitely feel that. With the Page of Wands and the Doctor card, you have the Eight of Wands. Quick success coming in for you. I feel like there's a lot of success, and also communication. There could be surprise communication coming in for you, or you're, or you're just surprised that someone wants to communicate with you. I don't know why you would be surprised, but there you go. With the Five of Wands and the frivolity card, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, focus. She is training her focus normally on the Nine of Pentacles. She is focusing on what's important, not things that are not important. She has 3 pentacles on one side, 6 on the other normally, and it says that she only gives those 3 pentacles to things that are important, right? And she keeps more than enough for herself. I'll show you right here. So 3 on one side, 6 on the other, right? So I feel like what's really going to be important for you with that frivolity card is to not give to frivolous things, to not give to things that don't give back to you. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this reckless action leads to conflict, this fire card. Again, I don't think this is, you're not watching tarot to be like worried about things. People always say you're too positive. Like, no, I'm not. I understand tarot, which is, it's not a prison sentence. It's you can work with this energy. So again, I feel a little bit of that, could be making a hasty decision, like, running away from a position at work because you don't want to be there anymore. And I feel like this is just saying slow things down. You can absolutely quit, but just make sure you have something lined up first before you make that decision, right? I would also say be careful of, Knight of Swords is my card that says be careful of like get rich quick schemes or scams or, people begging you for money or whatever, right? I would be careful of that. You have the Nine of Swords here, which is like a round and round situation. So again, that's kind of what tells me this could be a job that you don't like, is because Nine of Swords, like having a nightmare, waking up and still being in a nightmare. I also kind of get the energy here that this could be something where you've given it enough time to improve, It's like sometimes in a relationship, it just isn't right. And I feel like this is saying like, don't stay another 6 months, right? and thinking that things are going to change. It's like, whatever this is, doesn't matter. I feel like it's going to be different for all of you, but I feel like a lot of you maybe have a situation in your life where it's like showing you its true colors, whether it's a purple, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Purple might be important for this situation, but whatever it is, it's like you've seen its true colors, and now it's time to make a change. But again, I wouldn't just like rush right out. I would make sure you're lining yourself up first. You have the Seven of Swords, could be lying, cheating, stealing situation, but again, the Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. Seven of Swords traditionally meant to be a good card. It's a golden card. It's not a bad card, really. It can represent lying, cheating, stealing, but again, really, he's avoiding battle by taking those swords. So it's like, can you do something tactically, not in a rush, right? So again, take your time doing something. You have the Three of Wands. I feel like a new direction is going to lead to expansion, like we said at the beginning of the reading. So it really looks to me like you are expanding with the universe, or you're expanding into the universe, whatever you want to call it. I can't even can't even get a card to clarify. Let's see here. With the Nine of Swords, you have this melancholy card. Yes, something is, this card of being in melancholy, card of being sad. It's more kind of depressed, kind of like just complacent. I feel like something just doesn't inspire you to action. Whether, again, it's a person, place, or thing, I don't care. And I feel like it needs to change. With the Seven of Swords, you have this messenger card, definitely a message coming in for you. So I feel like there could be, again, we talked about this whole entire time. I feel like there could be surprise communication between you and a person. I also see that some of you might be shooting your shot as well. You might be, again, shooting your shot with a person, and the fact that they communicate with you is a surprise. Could be a Scorpio. Scorpio really stands out to me here. Could also be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo, or Capricorn, or they could just have those signs in their chart. With the Three of Wands, you have this card that says Priest on it. It's kind of like the Hierophant. I feel like it's saying, basically, if you're doing things the way they've always been done, you're going to be stuck with that Three of Wands. So with the Three of Wands, I feel like it's saying nothing is ever going to be perfect. It's time to take action right now. Let's see here. With the Nine of Swords and the Melancholy card, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, no movement. It's a card of being too cautious. So I feel like it's time for you to make your move or at least take the steps, right? Like I said, we want to be tactical here, not hasty. So I think it would be a good time to start taking the steps to get out of a situation. For some of you, it doesn't even have to be a bad situation. It's like, it could be, maybe you're in a good job. Maybe it pays you money, but maybe there's just something better, and this is like saying, take the steps to find it. With the Messenger and the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. I would be careful if there's a person coming back from the past who is a liar, for sure. And they could just have regrets. And it's like they didn't see what was in front of them when they had it. So now they see it, right? Maybe this person is nearsighted, right? They can't see what's right in front of them. But when it's far away, then they see the benefits of this situation. So I'd be careful. With the Priest and the Three of Wands, you actually have two cards, Five of Swords and the Temperance card. Yeah, Temperance says you can turn a negative into a positive. You can turn a positive into a negative as well. Card of Alchemy. Five of Swords says take a risk. I definitely feel it's time for you to take a risk. At the end here, for the good stuff, it's going to be positive no matter what shows up here. You have this Stingray card. This card is a card of like something, forming a backbone. You can see that in the art on this card that it's like there's this like chakra system on the backbone here. I feel that what you're forming something new in your life, like a new relationship. Clearly, you have the Lovers, Ten of Cups, Death card, and the Nine of Pentacles. So again, I feel like you're forming up something new that brings you peace. And for a lot of you, I feel it could be a new love connection. Definitely would be with a person who's like self-made. I feel like this person has creative intelligence. Creative intelligence is like the type of person where it's like you could burn their house down, put them on the street with no money, and they would be making money tomorrow, right? That's creative intelligence. So, I feel like this person can create their way out of a prison or something. I don't know. I get very creative energy off this person, but definitely self-made and, very successful probably. So, I feel like this person also brings you a lot of peace into your life and like a feeling of security. So definitely could be attracting love. If it's not love, again, it would be a job or a position, which I also feel for some of you coming in here. Next, you have the Ten of Cups and the Death card. Again, if you're making a change, like leaving a job, I feel like you're going to be saying, like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, maybe you're finding something that provides so much peace. You're like, oh my God, why did I stay stuck in this position? So I feel like you're really going to be very happy with this change. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty. Death, of course, is a change, but I feel there's like a very pleasant change coming in for you here. You also have the Nine of Pentacles, card of independence. Again, if you're attracting a person, I feel like they're very independent. I feel like you're very independent, but it's not like you don't want to be together. I think that two independent people who are truly independent, who come together, that's like the best relationship. It's like you don't need each other. You just want each other, and that's like what I get here. It's like two people. It's like you don't need anything. You just want each other. So it's like you actually want to be with this person if it's love. For the rest of you, again, I do. And also if you're making a job change, I love the Nine of Pentacles, card of gratitude and luxuries. Definitely, could be improving your finances. With the, sorry, I didn't want to, we'll go backwards. It's fine. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. I would just open up here. Some of you could be a little bit guarded. So if you want love and there's a person coming in for you, I would open up here. You could be, again, this could be a person who is guarded, a little bit as well. So they might just take a little bit of time to open up. Knight of Pentacles. They might be just a little bit cautious. So just know that. With the Ten of Cups and the Death card, you have the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is going to be good no matter what, this last row. So I feel like you're improving your finances. You're probably coming out of the cult. And again, obviously, if you're finding love, then you're definitely coming out of the cult. So that makes sense to me. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth, and you have the Three of Wands twice. It's kind of my card of like, what are you waiting for? Like, whatever this change is, I would make the change. I think it's going to lead to like growth, abundance, money, everything. With the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands, you have this conversation card. Are you kidding me? Like, every single communication card here, there's clearly going to be a conversation coming in for you this week between you and someone else. Probably a new lover, someone new. With the Ten of Cups, Death card, Five of Pentacles, you have this reunion card. I do feel like someone from the past has regrets, but I would not have a reunion with this person, especially if they were a liar, cheater, stealer, with that Seven of Swords. Obviously, someone always gives me some example of like someone who, whatever, right? I don't care what your situation is, but whatever it is, it's like, obviously, if it was a positive relationship and it had to end because maybe they got a job somewhere and they had to move or something like that, but it was always positive, then by all means, have the reunion, right? But obviously, if they were toxic, then no reunion. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, you have the Sorrow card. Again, this is going to be positive no matter what. So it's like you're coming out of a period of sorrow, sadness, melancholy, right? You had that card earlier. So major improvements for you at this time. Let's see what is going on for you. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this Owl card. It says, good advice from a wise person. I don't know why I'm super drawn to that Hangman with this card, but for some of you, it could be like a person who is like in Hangman mode. It's like a person who, has really good advice, but maybe they don't use it. I don't really have a good example. I heard like a really weird saying, and I'm not going to remember it. It's going to drive me crazy. I was listening to something yesterday about where something about how it's like sometimes people who give advice, it's like they give the advice that they can't give to themselves or something like that. And that's popping into my head. I don't know why that's popping into my head right now, but it's like you might be receiving advice from a person where it's like they give advice, it's good advice, but they don't take their own advice. Weird, but, take it how it resonates. You have this March card. You also have this Cat card that says a two-faced friend. So in this month of March, I would be careful of anyone who seems two-faced, of course, and I would just block them or whatever. Clearly, you have this love card, duh. The whole entire reading was basically about love coming in for you, so there you go. You have this Dark Man, says dealings with relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. It could be any gender, whatever you're attracted to. You have this Cup card that says you should accept valid criticism. So you could be receiving criticism from like a boss or a person in your life, or it could just be a friend, maybe someone who's telling you like, hey, you're not finding love because of X, Y, and Z, or hey, you're not getting this business going, and maybe it's like that type of criticism. So there you go. And finally, you have this Eye card. It says psychic ability, trust your intuition. Yeah, definitely time to trust your intuition, for sure. So, looks pretty good. Thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.